The story begins with a tough-looking man, a hitman, riding an elevator in a busy Chicago office building. He steps into an office, and the woman inside looks terrified. He gives her a bullet and asks her to find out where it came from. He says it's the bullet that killed his friend. The woman, shaking, says she can't find anything from it. Just then, a red laser dot appears near his head. The man quickly tells her to duck, but a sniper's shot hits his head, and he dies instantly. He sees 4 shooters on the rooftop of the building across from him and decides to escape. He calls the elevator, planning to get a good running start. His heart starts pounding incredibly fast, and he feels like his reaction speed has suddenly become much quicker than usual. With a burst of energy, he pushes off the elevator wall and sprints straight through the window. He crashes through the glass and leaps into the air, amazingly shooting 3 of the attackers while still flying. He even kills 1 shooter with a bullet that curves around a corner. When he lands on the top floor of the next building, he kills the last shooter in just 5 seconds. Then, the dead shooter's phone rings. He picks it up and hears a voice say that there's no way to leave the fraternity and it's useless to kill a wolf in a crowd. He gets the chilling answer that it was just a bait. As he looks down, he sees a clear X mark right under his feet. Immediately after that, an old-fashioned bullet flies past his head. A slow-motion replay shows it was a special, rocket-like bullet. This amazing bullet was fired by a man named Cross, who was miles away from the building. 2 weeks later, we meet Wesley, who is woken up by his girlfriend. She demands that he find a new house because she can't sleep near the subway. Wesley is just a normal office worker who constantly has bad panic attacks. He takes medicine for them, but it makes him not care about anything. He doesn't even care that his girlfriend is cheating on him with his friend, Barry. Still, Wesley can't bring himself to talk to them about it. His boss always yells at him, saying he's too slow. Wesley feels lost, always wondering why his father left him when he was young. When his boss screams at him about a missing report, Wesley's panic attack gets so bad that his heart beats incredibly fast. Everything around him seems to slow down. After his boss leaves, Wesley quickly takes a bunch of pills to calm down. In the evening, when he goes to the ATM, he's shocked to find his account almost empty. He then goes to a drugstore and sees a strange man watching him closely. This man is Cross, the same assassin who killed the man on the rooftop. As Wesley turns around, a beautiful woman stares at him intensely. Wesley is a bit scared, but the woman quickly tells him she knew his father. At first, Wesley doesn't believe her, but then she seriously tells him that his father was killed a few days ago, and the man who will kill him is standing right behind him. Right after this shocking news, the woman pulls out a gun and starts shooting at Cross. A sudden and intense gunfight breaks out in the store. Wesley has another panic attack. He tries to run, but the woman stops him and uses a special device that lets her shoot around corners using mirrors, limiting Cross's view. Meanwhile, Wesley sees a chance and manages to run away. Cross tries to follow him in a van, but the woman quickly gets Wesley into her bright red Viper car. The fast-paced chase begins. The woman is seen hanging out of the windshield, firing bullets, and amazingly, driving the car with her other leg. Then a police car blocks the road ahead. Our heroes quickly see the danger. The woman immediately takes control of the steering wheel, skids the Viper, and the tires hit a drain, causing the car to flip dramatically and land right on top of a passing bus. All this intense action is too much for Wesley, and he passes out. When Wesley finally wakes up, he's in a place that looks like a fabric factory. He tries to leave, but all the exits are blocked by several mean-looking men. Then, the same mysterious woman from the store appears again. Wesley desperately tries to explain that he's just a normal office worker and no one would be interested in him. Then a serious-looking man with a gun shows up. He hands Wesley a gun and shockingly tells him to shoot a fly buzzing over a trash can. Wesley is completely surprised by this strange command. Then the man makes it even harder, saying Wesley has to hit only the fly's wing. Wesley now has another gun pointed at his head, and he's told if he doesn't shoot, he'll die. Then Wesley has another panic attack. But this time, he reacts so incredibly fast that he can clearly see the tiny movement of the fly's wing. He fires 6 bullets one after another with amazing accuracy. Then he instinctively runs to get his medicine, but the leader stops him and proudly shows him the flies whose wings have been perfectly cut by the bullets. The leader then dramatically throws away Wesley's medicine and explains that his heart rate reached an astonishing 400 beats per minute, and his brain released so many hormones into his blood that his reaction speed was much faster than normal. He reveals that this isn't just a panic attack, but a strong hidden ability he got from his father. Wesley, still disbelieving, thinks this man is crazy, and in anger, he shoots him and fiercely tells him to stay away. Then the man reveals his name is Sloan, and the beautiful woman's name is Fox. Sloan declares that Wesley is the true crazy one, working a slave job in an office when he has such great power. Then Sloan offers him a chance to get revenge for his father, to kill Cross. He says the gun in Wesley's hand was his father's. His father, Sloan claims, could even control an entire orchestra with that very gun. Besides this, he reveals that he has put all of Wesley's father's money into his account. The next morning, when Wesley wakes up, he first thinks all of this was just a weird dream. But as he goes to the bathroom, the gun conspicuously falling out of his pocket brutally brings him back to reality. He quickly hides the gun in the toilet tank. Then he goes to an ATM and is amazed to see more than 3.5 million rupees in his account. In the office, Wesley is now constantly reading news articles about his father's murder. Then his boss comes back and says hello. He then reminds him that the billing report hasn't been turned in yet. When the boss starts yelling at Wesley, accusing him of wasting his time online, Wesley politely interrupts, then publicly reveals all the boss's private polls. He tells him the plain truth that the whole department is making fun of him behind his back. After making the boss feel terrible, Wesley defiantly picks up his keyboard and starts to leave the office. Then Barry tries to high-five him, a friendly gesture. But Wesley, now full of anger, slams the keyboard onto Barry's face because Barry was cheating with his girlfriend. After doing all this, Wesley feels completely thrilled and triumphantly leaves the building. Outside, he sees newspapers with news about the exciting gunfight at the store. Fox picks him up, and Wesley happily jumps into her car, ready for his new life. Fox takes Wesley to a weaving factory. At first, Wesley thinks this is just a front for something else. But then he realizes these are truly master weavers working very skillfully. These people call themselves the Fraternity of Weavers. He says he doesn't want to go back to his old life. And then he tells Sloan to have Fox handle Wesley's training. His tough training begins immediately. Wesley is tied to a chair and beaten badly. He is repeatedly asked why he has come here. But Wesley doesn't understand what these people want from him. He just defiantly says he hasn't come here to be beaten. Then Wesley is taken to a butcher who tries to teach him knife fighting. He wakes up, soaking in a bathtub filled with paraffin wax. A man named Exterminator helps him in his painful recovery. He explains that these are special healing baths that will greatly reduce Wesley's pain. Then he gives Wesley vodka, and Wesley immediately understands that this man is Russian. Gun training is also done in a very unusual way. Wesley has to learn to shoot curved bullets, not just straight, a truly advanced technique. This fascinating and brutal training happens every single day. First, he's beaten badly, then he's healed. Soon, another dead body of a fraternity member is brought in, a grim reminder of the danger. This is Cross's work. He's systematically killing the fraternity members one by one. According to Sloan, only Wesley can stop him. After a while, Fox challenges Wesley to catch a shuttle that's moving incredibly fast in the weaving machine. Wesley, remembering his past training, suggests putting a gun to his head so his reaction can be fast. But Fox sternly says he has to learn to control himself, relying on inner discipline. Wesley fails, only hurting his hand. While he's recovering, the Russian man shows him a new, strange trick. He puts a tiny explosive device on a mouse and lures it to a safe place with peanut butter. Then, the mouse spectacularly explodes. He says Wesley's father really liked this trick. He asks Wesley if he's okay and what these people are doing to him, because his behavior seems strange. Meanwhile, Fox comes out of a bathtub and asks Wesley to follow her for more training. This time, she herself starts beating him badly and asks the same urgent question: why has he come here, and why is he wasting his time? Finally, Wesley gives a correct and honest answer. He wants to know who he really is. He is taken to Sloan, who tells him about his father. Sloan says that Wesley's father was the best assassin of the fraternity. Wesley, feeling a deep connection, wears his father's jacket and firmly decides that he will become as good as his father no matter what. Now, his training becomes much more meaningful. He now has a clear and strong goal, to get revenge for his father. Now all the difficulties seem small to him. He's beaten without hesitation, driven by his purpose. He learns everything about his enemy and trains day and night with the strict focus of a warrior. Wesley quickly defeats the knife master. The trainer who was brutally beating him, his hand hits Wesley's head and breaks, showing Wesley's new skill. There was only one thing Wesley couldn't do: shoot curved bullets. Fox cleverly thinks of helping him with this. She stands in front of a dead animal, strategically placing herself so Wesley is motivated to shoot accurately. When Wesley fully understands his responsibility and the danger, he finally shoots a curved bullet with amazing accuracy and hits the target. The bullet spectacularly comes out of Fox's head, showing he has mastered it. Now it's time for his first assignment. Sloan takes him to a weaving machine. It turns out that these people call their targets the loom of fate. The ancestors of the fraternity had figured out a secret code that turned the uneven threads of the fabric into a binary code. This code magically revealed the names of their chosen targets. Wesley's first target is decided. Fox is going on the mission with him. Both go to the roof of a moving train. But Wesley can't shoot the target at first. He hesitates. He closes his eyes and clearly remembers his intense talk with Fox the day before. The day before, Wesley had asked Fox how it could be right to kill someone just because a fabric said so. Fox then told a sad story about a little girl whose father was a judge. He was known for being honest. He was handling a complex trial of a famous criminal in a big case. The criminal desperately wanted another judge for his case, so he sent a cruel killer named Max Patrick. Max brutally burned the judge alive and forced his innocent family to watch. Then he chillingly carved his initials onto the judge's body so no one would forget. When Fox later joined the fraternity, he found out that the loom had revealed Max Patrick's name a few days before the murder. But a fraternity member, out of fear, didn't dare to kill him. This was the deep reason why the fraternity's motto was, "Kill one, save thousands." After telling this haunting story, Fox left. And Wesley, with a shock of recognition, saw Max Patrick's initials tattooed on Fox's neck. Back in the present, Wesley opens his eyes, his resolve stronger, and decides to kill the businessman. He fires a curved bullet, showing his new skill, and finishes him off. One after another, new missions arrive. And each time, Wesley hopes the next name revealed will be Cross. Once, he has to kill a businessman inside an armored limousine. Then Fox helps him in an amazing way. She uses her sports car like a ramp and goes up the limousine with a perfect somersault, and shoots the businessman through the open sunroof, finishing the mission. After the mission, Wesley thinks of going home, wanting some normal life. But when he gets there, he sees that his friend Barry is now comfortably living with his girlfriend in his apartment. As soon as Wesley opens the door, he punches Barry, knocking him out, and goes straight to the toilet. Meanwhile, his girlfriend starts yelling at him. Fox, clearly bored by her yelling, decides that Wesley's status should be greatly improved in the eyes of his ex. She gives Wesley a passionate, long kiss. And both leave, leaving a stunned Barry. On the way, Barry yells, "You are now a real man, Wesley." When Fox goes to steal a car, Wesley suddenly sees Cross on the road. He immediately fires a shot. But Cross, with incredible accuracy, blocks Wesley's bullet with one of his own. Now, a big chase begins as they chase Cross without stopping. And other members of the fraternity also join this wild chase. By a sad mistake, Wesley shoots the exterminator. When he's shocked by his mistake, frozen in disbelief, Cross fires a curved bullet that hits Wesley's shoulder. Wesley wakes up in the recovery room and sees that they are desperately trying to save the Russian man, the exterminator. But the doctors tragically fail, and the exterminator dies. Luckily, the bullet taken out of Wesley's shoulder was the very first bullet that could be successfully traced. It was made by Pekarsky, who worked in a monastery in eastern Arabia. The fraternity understands that this is a special trap set by Cross, and they don't want Wesley to go alone. But Wesley, driven by revenge, convinces them that he's ready for the dangerous task. Finally, Sloane gives him a piece of fabric, on which Cross's name is clearly written. When Wesley leaves, Sloane immediately gives Fox another piece of fabric, on which Wesley's name is chillingly written. Wesley reaches the monastery and successfully finds Pekarsky. First, Pekarsky pretends to run away, but then he tries to trap Wesley in a clever snare. Luckily, Fox, who is secretly watching Wesley, arrives just in time to help him. Wesley shows him the bullet and asks him how he can find out its owner. Pekarsky promises to arrange a meeting with the bullet's maker. Pekarsky takes Wesley and Fox to a train station. Then the old Pekarsky suddenly starts running. Fox and Wesley immediately follow him. Then Wesley sees Cross in a train in his side vision, a quick glimpse. He immediately jumps on the train, determined to face him, while Fox continues to follow Pekarsky. The train leaves the station, and Fox realizes that now Wesley and Cross are face to face, trapped alone in the speeding train. She takes an old Soviet car from an old couple. Pekarsky calls Cross and tells him that Wesley is now alone in the train. Cross immediately catches Wesley and tries to tell him something important. But then Fox reaches the train in her old Soviet car and starts firing at Cross, stopping their conversation. An intense gunfight breaks out inside the train. Cross is only busy blocking Fox's constant bullets. Then Fox intentionally crashes her car into the train. The train hangs dangerously on the bridge like a suspended sausage. Wesley falls down, but Cross amazingly catches him at the last moment, giving up his own life in the process. Wesley, in a desperate act, kills his enemy, and the entire train falls into the gorge below. Before dying, Cross tells Wesley that he is his real father, and everything the fraternity told him was a terrible lie. Wesley is completely shocked and asks Fox, "Is this true?" Fox confirms that yes, Cross was indeed his real father. Cross didn't kill anyone else because he didn't want to kill only Wesley. The rest of the members couldn't reach him. Wesley finds out that his name was also revealed by the loom. He cleverly shoots a glass to escape from Fox and falls into the river with his father's body. Wesley wakes up in a healing bath. He's in the building across from his house. He hears his ex-girlfriend on the phone, talking to another girl who says she lost a great guy like Wesley. Pekarsky tells Wesley that his father was always around him and watching his life. He didn't want Wesley to become a killer. That's why he tried to save him from meeting the fraternity. Pekarsky gives Wesley a piece of fabric, on which Sloane's name is clearly written. It turns out that the loom had already revealed Sloane's name a long time ago. But Sloane had evil intentions and hid this. When Cross found out about this, he immediately left the fraternity and promised that he would destroy it. There's a secret room there, full of explosive devices for rats, and detailed plans of the fraternity's base. And he buys a truck full of peanut butter. Using that peanut butter, he lures the rats into the garbage truck. Then he cleverly enters the factory and releases his explosive rats. As soon as the rats finish their work, Wesley enters the building and shoots anyone who gets in front of him, mercilessly killing his targets. Everything is going perfectly, but at the worst possible time, he has to fight with the butcher, who surprisingly turns out to be a very tough opponent. But Wesley, with strong determination, somehow sticks a sharpening steel into his chest, finally defeating him. Finally, he reaches Sloane. Now Wesley is surrounded by the remaining fighters of the fraternity. Wesley defiantly tells them that Sloane is a coward who evil-heartedly hid the loom's decision. After that, he decided to kill the witness alone. The members of the fraternity, confused and angry, ask their leader for an explanation. Sloane shows them a file, which is decoded from the fabric. Every fraternity member's name is chillingly in that list. Sloane tells them that if they still want to blindly follow the loom's orders, then they should put a bullet in their heads. Or else, he suggests, they should forget everything, kill Wesley, and use their skills to rule the world. Saying this, Sloane leaves, letting the members decide. The fighters ultimately decide that they will follow Sloane and kill Wesley. But Fox, who truly believed in the Loom's divine decision, takes decisive action. She shoots a curved bullet at all of them, a single, devastating shot. The bullet goes around in a mesmerizing circle and kills everyone, including Fox herself, who sacrifices herself for the Loom's truth. Wesley tries desperately to follow Sloane, but he mysteriously disappears. After losing everything, a tired Wesley goes to an ATM, looking for some comfort. But when he looks there, he finds out that his account is completely empty, a final cruel twist. After a few days, Wesley's office is running as if nothing happened, a return to the ordinary. Then Sloane quietly comes up behind Wesley. But as soon as Wesley turns, he finds out that this isn't the real Wesley. And he sees an X mark under his feet, a familiar sign of danger. Immediately after that, an old-fashioned bullet flies over his head. How did this bullet achieve such an impossible path? First, it passed through the boss's donut. Then it went through Barry's energy drink. And finally, it entered Sloane's head, killing him. Where did this bullet come from? From Wesley's father's house, a final act of his legacy. Then this film ends here. So, friends, our today's video ends here. If you liked our video, then like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.